Chris here. Thanks for joining me on my next episode and the final episode of the Cobra build. Whereas, as the title says, we're going to get it put together. It's full set final assembly. We have made a start, as you can see, on the engine. Now, mostly it's gone together all right. We've got the sump on. We've got these parts on. Now, when it comes to the carbs on the top, there was a bit of an issue because the spacing between the sockets where they go and the spacing between the pins on the bottom, the actual pins on the bottom, were a shorter distance than what the sockets were. So I've had to kind of like snip one pin off each carb to make it, sit flat. And with using the Proscale pre-wide distributor, I know there's a bit of a kink in the wire yet, but I've still got to, line them up. But with that, it's kind of spread the two front carbs out wider a little bit, so I've just kind of tried to match, even with this wonky one here. I've only just noticed this, it's not even straight, nor is that one. So I've had to kind of like sit them in sort of like a V shape almost, but otherwise it's all right. Now I can't remember if I mentioned on the previous video about the decals and stuff for this. But just in case I didn't, it asked for, as you can see in step 2, the decals to go on to these in there and in there. And then I realised, once getting to step 4, in actual fact, the rocker covers cover that area where the decals should be, according to the instructions. However, on top of the rocker covers is the exact same design as the decals. Let me show you. Because it's all moulded in and it was all embossed. Oh, sorry, knocking the camera there. You can see where it says just the Cobra powered by Ford. So that is actually like embossed. So yeah, I put it on there instead because that's where it should be. It shouldn't be under the rocker cover. And another good thing about the chrome system, the 2K covered chrome parts, is obviously you've got microsol on there messing about, handling all these, and they've not lost the shine, not lost the chrome. Love that new chrome system from, well, it's not new from Proscale, it's new to me from Proscale. But yeah, absolutely my go-to chrome now. It's just phenomenal. Being able to seal it, clear coat it, then handle it. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, and then like I say, it's really weird. I can't really get a good image of that on the camera at the minute. It must be, I don't know if it's the lighting in this room or what, because if I put my lamp on, it's too harsh. So yeah, right, so I'm going to go and get some bits together and I'll pop back in shortly. After this engine part, we're currently sat at section number 5. I have started on 6. I have made a mistake because I genuinely thought that, according to looking to this, I thought the pin went on top of there. I'm thinking, why is it not fitting? It's not sitting flat, it's not going in, because if we look, let me get this. You see that pin? There's a pin there, and there's a pin on top of that, and I've chopped it off. But then I realised there's a socket where it's meant to go in, so I've made a right mess for no bloody reason at all, apart from my inability to look at that properly. I can't say, yeah, I was a bit caught up in myself. This part here, you've kind of like got to get it on, then line it up. But I'm half tempted to leave it until like we've got most of it put together, in case I need to line it up to go for a certain socket. So the last thing I want to do is put it on and it be out of sync and try and snap it to rejig it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's go and get some bits put together. A little update: we've got some of the front subframe assembly on. And I'm going to be honest, it's really, really fiddly. Well, for me anyway. My assembly is my massive downfall. And this is really pushing my assembly skill set. Doesn't help with that mat in the background. You can't really see much. but you've got like the wishbone arm, and then the suspension, like the strutty thing. You got your spring leaf across the top. Spring leaf and that was like frame there wasn't too bad. Not that you can see it there. Let me get it in focus. Right, so that frame there with the spring leaf on, that wasn't too bad. But you've got what was the steering rack going across there. You've got the wishbone. So the wishbone arm, you've got like a pin that sits in there, pin that sits in there, same on the other side. And then it kind of loosely attaches to those pins. There's no socket for the pin to go on, it just rests. It's weird. And then trying to get these like hooked in and under, it was a bit tricky. And like I say, it's not my strong skill set putting things together, but that's the subframe front pretty much done. Just need to get the brakes on now, and then it says get some wheels on, so let's get some wheels on. Right, update. Chassis, running gear all put together pretty much, and I have made a load of mistakes. I've had issues. I've broken things, I've snapped things have popped off. I've not fitted things correctly. I have really struggled with this. I don't know how well you can tell, but I mean, well, it's just the tyres. The tyres are a bit loose, but you can see this wishbone here. Yeah, that's snapped. I was trying to put everything together. It was just too fiddly for me. Yeah, it popped off, and then I just couldn't get it back on properly. When I was putting the radiator on, the pins snapped. Trying to fit the engine. On the engine mount, you got like a mount just there, and then same on the other side. But there was a bar. You can see where I had to cut. See where I had to cut it. Look, there and there. There's a bar that went across. So obviously, this part of the engine was catching on it, so it wouldn't sit. I was trying to put that on, and things were popping off. I've not put the front wheels together properly. Because you've got like the front half of the wheel, and then you've got the back half of the wheel. And I thought I could put the front half in the tyre and then put the back half in the back, but then it leaves like a couple of mil gap, which I didn't realise. But by that point, the wheels were on the axle. I can't get them off. Tried to get them off, and that's when a lot of things started popping off and breaking. I don't know how level it is. I'm not too sure. Done my best at the wiring. It's not the greatest, but you can. I mean, it's just there's glue haze everywhere because I've just had a right bloody day with this. Right there. I mean, yeah, there should have been a bit of a pin between the rear drive shaft and the gearbox, but that pin's bloody snapped. Putting this together, that was 2 or 3 times. That just kept popping off, and the brakes aren't sat on the wishbones properly. Yeah, it's definitely a skill issue. That's a lot of my fault, a lot of my issue. I'm not used to kits quite as technical as this one. I'm used to an easier kit, and that's where I start to show my lack of skills working on kits like this. When it gets really fiddly, I really struggle. I don't know what it is. So I've shaken the camera. I'm not sure what it is. I've just struggled with some of these really fiddly bits. But positives, yeah. There's some nice detail there. I like the little decals on top of the carbs. In hindsight, I should have flattened them off instead of having the mould lines down the middle. It looks like they've got mesh on. Yeah, it's yeah. I think in the hands of a good builder, a good model maker, a good model builder, this would be a good kit. But for me, I've struggled. But you know, we live and learn. So it's another stepping stone. It's another learning milestone. It's another learning curve. So, but yeah, now that's done, it's time to get this lot together. So let's go put this together. Right then, there we have it. One finished Cobra. Yeah, so there was quite a lot of, for me, issues. I really struggled with the assembly of the chassis work, and then trying to fit the wheels on. It was pretty bad fitment on, like the axles wouldn't fit into the back of the wheels. So I had to open the holes, dry fitted the axle, fitted fine, took the axle off, put some glue on, put the axle back in, and then all of a sudden it just didn't go all the way in. And then obviously by that point the glue had set, and I was like, oh great. So the wheels stuck out really bad. Front and back, they stuck out. Front obviously more so because I messed up. And then it was quite high. And you know what? I was getting really frustrated. But one of the lads in the group said, why don't you stick the wheels to the wheel arch? Now that's not something I've done before. I've never stuck the wheels to the wheel arch. But lo and behold, there we are. I have had to move this out of the way. I have had to stick the wheels to the wheel arch. But to be fair, it gives it a really nice low look. Or you can see, look, just above the front left tyre, you can just see where it's shimmering where there was a bit of glue. Obviously, it's not quite noticeable until it's pointed out. But you can't really, even if it's pointed out, you can hardly see it. Now, if you look underneath, look, you see what I mean? The wishbone suspensions. I had tons and tons of issues. This one, I'd lost count how many times this one popped out. It just, I had, oh, there we go, click, another click. I'll just push it back up. What? Oh, there you go, it's gone again. Yeah, I just, basically the wishbone, it didn't fit into any sockets. It just rested on the frame, and it was really irritating, really frustrating. So yeah, just like that, off it came. Yeah, so that's the bottom underneath. Obviously, you got that big mark where I had the lollipop stick holding the interior top, but that's the least of my worries. Another thing else happened. Yeah, the radiator snapped when I put the radiator on. But from the above, it looks alright. It's not too bad. Oh, this is. Bear me 1 second. Just put this back into place. The wiring. There we go. Look. Kind of hooked it round. So yeah, the dizzy wiring. It's just. It was tucked up and over, but it's put it around. But yeah, I quite like. I mean, that Proscale dizzy cap. It's ace with the boots. And you can see where the boots are on the side. Look. I think one's popped off there. Yeah, so for me, it was a very difficult kit. I'm not used to these tricky older style kits. And like on the boot lid, you've got the boot handle, and then you've got like this part here, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. But that's actually the underneath of it, the light where the number plate would be, and I don't know. I just couldn't get it to sit right. So, yeah, it was a bit annoying. The glass for the window. I don't know if you can see, but the glass isn't quite. The main glass isn't quite the right shape, and then the side window bits, you just had to glue them to the frame. But I have been using, since the Telford show, Scale Model World, been using this for clear parts. Oh my word, I wish I got it sooner. This is incredible for clear parts. Incredible. It's like PVA, but it's got a really good stick, and it dries crystal clear. In actual fact, a lot of like I think aircraft modelers and stuff, you can make clear screens, things like that, by thinly applying that over like a, yeah. But apparently so. But yeah. Another thing with this as well is I actually left the bumpers off. I feel like it's got buoy up, more of a I know it's got the sockets where the bumpers would be, but come on, the grand scheme of things, that's the least of my worries. How cool does that look without that bumper there? And then, I don't want to tip it obviously because they're not fixed on. And then the bonnet. Even with the Dizzy cap on, look, it still sits on. It's straight enough. It looks loads better without the bumpers. So yeah, really happy with that. And then the dash, the interior of the dash. Well, you can see the flocking. Again, I just can't pick it up properly. But then the dashboard, the dials. All in all, it's been an experience, absolutely. Yeah, I do need to start working on more difficult taxing kits. I do need to improve my skill set. I do need to improve my skills. It's all well and good building nice, easy kits all the time, but then when something like this comes along and you struggle, you know, it's good practice to build a few now and then, just to try and come across these issues and figure out how to overcome certain issues. For me, my biggest issue is assembly. That's my kryptonite. Massively, I let myself down with assembly. I don't know what it is, but I just, yeah. But there we have it. Let's get it back in the screen. Look, 1 Cobra minus wishbone. But yeah, so let's be honest. Can you see the wishbone when it's down? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it when it's sat? Does it matter? Of course it doesn't. If the wheels are glued on, of course that doesn't matter if that's off. You can't see it. It still looks nice. Going to be sat on the shelf. It's going to look nice. I really like that colour actually. At first I was unsure. Didn't know what else to put that colour on. I thought I'd put it on this just to give it a chance. And do you know what? It's growing on me. It really looks nice. I will be honest as well. I didn't even wet sand and I didn't even polish this. Let me just turn this torch off and let's see if we can. Yeah. No wet sanding, no polishing. So there we have it, look. Yeah, there's a bit of orange peel. Yeah, there's a bit of orange peel. Yeah, there's a bit of dust here and there, but still. For a finish that's not been wet sanded and polished, over the moon. So yeah, all in all, it's not turned out too bad, considering. Quite like the engine details, especially that Dizzy cap from Proscale. Talking of Proscale, I will just say a massive thank you to Paul at Proscale Paints for sending me this out, and obviously all the paints that they supply me and send out. I really do appreciate it. So if you want to treat yourself to some of those awesome paints, there's consumables, there's kits, there's all sorts, detail up bits, there's a bit of everything. Now, if you want to go and treat yourself, go ahead, head over onto Proscale Paints website. The information's in the description of the video. And if you're treating yourself to a load of Proscale Paints products, you can get 5% off your order by using KBC5 at the checkout. You get 5% off your order using KBC5, and that can only be used on Proscale Paints products. So be it primer, colour, 2K, chrome, anything with Proscale Paints, get 5% off. And I would highly recommend that chrome system with that chrome sealer, because the chrome on this looks wicked. Yeah, I'm really happy. Really happy. Absolutely. I just need to get better myself, and then we'll go from there. So yes, there we have it. Another build bites the dust. So thank you very much everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. The next one, we are going back Japanese. We're going Japanese to a kit I've not actually built before. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy, all the best. Cheers.